this. Okay, we're recording, so we're good.
Good.
Thank you. Golly, I've been sitting here like a zombie at my house for the last hour and a half by myself, so that never happened. So I don't know. That's kind of wiped my mind. Awesome, awesome. Had a good day.
Yeah, pretty good day. You?
I did. So I think I
Good.
saw 19 patients today. So it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey Celeste, hey Kristen, hey Abby, how y'all doing?
Hey, and I am going to be kind of in and out. I was supposed to have a meeting, but I had a little guy. I spent some time in the ER today.
Oh gosh, everything
He
okay?
was, yeah, he was sparring in Taekwondo and landed on his elbow. We were a little afraid
Oh
there
wow,
was a fracture, but it wasn't.
that's good.
So yeah, I'm home instead of at my meeting. So
I guess that's good.
yeah, but
Good.
I'll be in and out dealing with
Sure.
that. So, but
No,
yeah, I
no
thought I'd
problem.
jump on when I could.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for joining us. So my kids are going to be home in about 10 minutes. So they're going to come through the door, give me a hug and a kiss and tell me good night. So just letting y'all know that's going to happen. But they called to tell me like um, goodbye or good night. Um, so poor Kristen, she just texted me and said she'd be happy to talk with us tonight, but she has strep. So she's glad to be on the call. Kristen, we're glad to have you. Sorry you have strep. Oh my goodness. Guys, a little funny story. So as I was launching this course, 2 weeks ago, whenever we did the course launch, I tried to get on the phone with a lot of people, got on the phone with, I think, several of y'all. And so, hey, Angela. And so, um, man, I texted somebody or Facebook messaged them and said, hey, how are you doing? They sent me back like stomach bug. And that was it. And I was like, huh? And they're like, I have a stomach bug. And I was like, I'm sorry for bothering you. Please message me if you need anything. So anyway, all I am pretty awkward a lot of the time. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started. It is 7:03, and I hit record thanks to Shauna. So if anybody jumps on, they can anyway join us. But if not, they can watch it on replay. So tonight we're going to talk about accountability. So we talked about accountability partners. I printed out what everybody wants to write their book on. So the 3 words or less thing, which some of you could not follow directions. So where's Jenny? Jenny's not old. She's like, I just can't do 3 words. Amanda didn't either. So cool. I have trouble doing 3 words or less, but I'm going to kind of help y'all pick accountability partners through that. I know a couple of you have already messaged me and said, hey, I have somebody I want to be accountability partners with. That's cool. We're going to do that. This is in school. I'm not going to force you to do anything. We're not going to sit in alphabetical order. So if you have somebody that you already kind of mesh with and you want to be accountability partners, I want you to do that. All right. So, guys, give me just 1 second to love on my babies. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. I haven't seen my little angels today, so they wanted to tell me good night. All right. So, hey, what's up, Alan? Good to see you on. So we're going to be talking about accountability. Like I said, some of you have already given me who you want to be partners with. Some of you hadn't. That's why I had you do the 3 words or less. So we'll be trying to get accountability partners. I want to try to do that with. Actually, I'm not going to make a rule on that. Like, there are 40-ish people in the course right now. I think 30 of them there's almost 50. So 30 are from the first course that I launched. Really, you can have an accountability partner with anybody in our group. So if it's somebody, just whoever. So if you want to do that, jump on and let me know who your accountability partner is. We'll start a post in the group tonight after this. And like I said, I know a couple of you have already picked, but we'll go from there. And if you don't have anybody, you haven't really met anybody, I know we haven't really interacted a whole lot in the group yet. If you need me to do it, I'll assign you somebody based on your topics. And at any point in time, you can go in and out and do whatever. And obviously, I'm going to hold you all accountable as well. So we're going to start that. I'm going to start messaging you ugly messages next week. So not really. So get your book done. So accountability, we're going to talk about the 5 D's of accountability. If you want to take notes, you can. If not, I have it saved on Google. I will put the link in later, whatever you want to do. Some people I know like to see it in their own writing and their own words. Guys, if y'all have any questions at any point tonight, unmute yourself and ask me, or post it in the chat, whatever you want to do. This is y'all's time. So I'm here to serve you. I want you to get out of this what you need. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. Then we'll go into some question and answers. I know Shauna's already asked a question that I think is very relevant, and we'll talk about it. I'm sure the rest of you have some of the similar questions, and we'll go from there. So number 1, I don't want you guys to ask each other, how is your book going? So that's number 1. Don't ask how their book is going. Now, maybe that seems harsh, but instead of asking that, I want you to say, what page are you on your book? Or what topic are you talking about in your book? I want you to be specific, because I can very easily tell each and every one of you that my book that I'm writing currently is going well, but I haven't worked on it in a couple of months because I've been doing all this and I haven't decided which book I want to write yet. So it's easy for me to say it's going well, but I'm not actually working on it. So I don't want us to get into that habit with each other. I want you to say, hey, I'm on page 5, or I haven't started yet, or I'm having trouble coming up with a topic, whatever it is. I want you guys to talk about that openly with each other and openly with me, because the whole point of this class and paying money to do this is to get your book done, instead of just having it as a dream or a hope. We want to actually get it done and take some action. So don't ask, how's the book going? That's open-ended. There's no authority. There's no purpose behind that. There's nothing saying that I have to tell the truth or give you a real answer. Say, what page are you on? Have you started? When are you going to start? So let's do that. Next thing. Hey, let's see. All right, we got you. All right, perfect. So the next thing I want to talk about is don't ask vague questions. And I kind of talked about that. This is the second D. Ask questions with concrete answers. Like, what are you having problems with this week? Don't say, are you having any problems? Well, yeah, I'm having some problems. So let's ask some questions that we have to answer. Our accountability partner has to answer. When my wife's mad at me or whatever, I say, is anything wrong, dear? Instead of, I need to say, okay, what did I do? Is really what the husband should always say. What? Because I know it was me. So that's more of a concrete question. Night, baby, I love you. And so that's what we need to do. Luckily, I'm in here with the door shut. Nobody can hear what I'm saying. But let's talk about things in a real manner with each other. What part are you struggling with on your book? Is it the intro? Is it the body? Is it coming up with the outline? Where are you having trouble? Instead of, well, it's not going well, I don't really know what to do. Well, good luck with that. The whole reason to get this group together and to get in these calls is to get this stuff done. So the more we're honest with each other and up front, the better we're going to be. So the next thing is, I'm not going to tell you guys that you need to be talking every week on the phone. So the amazing thing is we have so much technology that I can literally talk to each and every one of you at the same time with my face being shown, which is scary, I'm sure. But like you can just Facebook message each other, a voice message. I prefer voice message because I don't like to type forever. But you can do that and say, hey, let's talk. Let's talk on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And I'm not saying you have to sit down with a phone conversation, but sit down and maybe voice message your accountability partner and say, hey, this is the issue that I'm having today, and can you help me with it? And that way there's something scheduled, because if we're not scheduling things out, they're probably not very important to us. That's kind of a broad generalization, but if we're not scheduling out these calls and these times to be accountable with each other, then they're probably not going to happen. I mean, I feel safe to say, I feel like you guys would probably agree with that. Because so like today, I want to tell y'all this story. Just all right. So, I want to tell you all this story. So today I had somebody message me in healthcare. So Alex Engart interviewed me in healthcare digital marketing a couple of weeks ago for the launch of the course. So I had a couple people, comment. I sent them the link to the course, and I had one lady actually reach out to me and I said, well, hey, would you like to get on a phone call? And so she said yes. I asked her what she needed. She said, I have some questions about editing and publishing and book covers, things like that. I said, okay, cool. I can absolutely answer those questions. I wasn't planning on selling her anything at all. And I wasn't planning on, hey, let me yell at somebody. Guys, I'm sorry. So anyway, I didn't know. I just thought she had some questions, and I was going to try to answer her questions, just like I've done for a lot of people. And I had a 4:00 patient today, and I get off at 4:30, and I literally walked out the door at 4:39. So I picked my phone up about 4:35. The lady says, hey, did I have a mix up? Were we talking today? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm running late at work. I'll call you in 2 minutes. No big deal. So I called the lady, never met her before, wasn't friends with her on Facebook. It's not like a lot of us. I had some, we had some people in same circles and kind of knew each other. So she literally, I said, I am so sorry that I got on the phone 9 minutes late. I had a patient that ran late. It never happens. I'm sorry. She said, well, this is not a really good way to start this conversation. And I laughed just like that in the phone in her ear. And she's like, well, I'm sorry. I'm just an honest person. I said, yes, ma'am. So am I. So anyway, then she told me how she loved my Southern accent. But we talked for maybe 25 minutes, and I wasn't the person to help her. I couldn't do what she wanted. But this is what she wanted. She wanted somebody to make her book look professional, because she had one that she had paid somebody thousands of dollars to help her with, and it looked amazing. And so this go around, she had her friend's son draw her a cover that she didn't like, and she didn't know how to edit it or format it herself. So she wanted me to do all that for her. And I said, well, I don't really do that. I think you should go to Fiverr. And she said, well, I want it to look polished and professional. And she said, I paid thousands of dollars last time to do it, and I don't want to pay that this time. So she basically wanted somebody to do a professional job and pay free. She wanted to rent a penthouse and pay for a 1-bedroom studio in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is really cheap. She wanted a Manhattan penthouse with a Louisiana tag, and it's just not happening. So I don't know where I was going with that story, other than I just want to tell you guys, like, don't allow people to waste your time. Because there's a lot of people out there that are time suckers and time wasters. And I'm going to help this lady. I told her I'd find somebody for her to help her, and I'm going to, and I don't mind doing that. But the fact that somebody would get on the phone with me and badmouth me about, I work 40 hours a week, guys, we're running late with a patient. And then she told me again, like she was just sitting by her phone for 9 minutes waiting on me to call her, and I wasted her time. It was unbelievable. She also told me an explosive diarrhea story about her in the bathroom, and I have no idea where that had any bearing, but I just wanted to share y'all to see y'all's faces just like mine. So let's be intentional on our time together, and not waste each other's time with stories that don't matter, like the one I just told you. So I want y'all to make sure you schedule things, because Um, I definitely dodged a bullet, Shauna. I honestly almost hung up on her, and I said, no, if I do that, she's going to blast me in healthcare digital marketing, which there's about 2,000 people in there that would have backed me up. But regardless, I talked to her. It was a lady. She was, I think, 64. She had multiple medical issues, and she really was trying to serve people. But, oh, my gosh, it was horrible. Wasn't a person you see my eyebrows jumping, Andrea. Yeah, it was crazy. So I don't know. People are just crazy. That's all I can say. And guys, I want to serve y'all to the fullest. And so that's why when I talked to y'all, if you sounded weird, I was like, we're breaking up. But I didn't do that to anybody because nobody was crazy. So anyway. All right. So the next thing, number 4. Don't ask if there's anything you can help with, okay? That's another vague question. One thing that Paul Goff talks about that I really like is when you're evaluating your patient in PTOT, whatever you are, don't say, what do you have any questions? Say, what questions do you have? And the first time I heard Paul say that, I thought that was stupid, but I've done that, and it's made a big difference in people actually asking questions. And it's just changing one word. And so what I want you guys to do with each other, with your accountability partner, is say, don't say, is there anything I can help you with? Because there's always something you can help somebody with. Say, what task can I help you with today? Or what hurdle can I help you get over? How can I help your book become successful? And let's be, again, intentional and help each other get our books written. Because, guys, I'm telling you, I want you guys to be successful. And Alan, I thought about you today, man. I haven't forgotten to scan those documents. I can't work my scanner. I'm like, I don't know what my problem is, but I'm going to send you that stuff, dude. I promise. I'm going to ask my boss tomorrow if she'll scan it for me on the company's time. So anyway, be intentional and ask, what task can I help you with? I have some stuff that I want to give Alan, and I think it was Kristen that wants to do a low back pain book as well. And I want to send both of them some questions that I've already gotten. I had my assistant who was helping me for the time being get all these questions off of answerthepublic.com. And I mean, there's a book in there that I'm possibly going to write one day, but for sure these guys are ready to do it now. So I'm going to give you all that information, and I have the research. So the next thing is, don't talk about when you would like to finish your book. Okay. So I've talked to so many people in the last few weeks that said, yes, I want to get my book done, but I'm just not ready, or I don't know when it's going to be done. Totally okay. I get it. Like, I have a bunch of books I want to write. I don't have any hard timeline for any of them other than the next one I'm going to write. But some people aren't ready to jump in and do this now. But everybody that's in here is ready to jump in and do this now. So let's set a goal of when we want our book done. And so I'm actually going to put you guys on the spot. I want you to put in the comments right now when you want your book done. So I'll have a record and I can show it to you later. So everybody put in the comments in the chat when, just it doesn't have to be hard. Just give me a ballpark when you want your book done. When do you want? I need some good music to play while y'all are doing this, but I don't have it. Spring 2020, end of December. That might be realistic. We got to talk. Let's talk tomorrow. Let's talk. Oh, Alan, you punk. You can't put question marks. I know you're from Canada, dude, but don't fold like that. February 2020. Yes. March 2020. Okay, good. All right, Alan, Q3. Okay, sounds good, buddy. All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. So don't hate I love my favorite physical therapist on this planet is a Canadian. He used to pay me $100 a week to stay at his house and dog sit for him. And he left all his food, and it was amazing. So I sing "Oh Canada" all the time and I murder it. So I'm sorry to your country. So, okay. Podcast Q4. Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, that's good then. New Yorker. Oh man. Alan, you actually talked about how slow I talk on the phone, which is funny because in Louisiana, I'm like the fastest talking person on the planet. So, but I do know it's relative because of my good friend from New York was like, dude, you talk so slow. So, anyway, all right, enough of that junk. Guys, listen, this is how we're going to get your book done, okay? We know now, I know everybody's goals. So, I'm going to be hounding you all the time. But all we're going to do is say, okay, I want my book done March of 2020. We have January, February, we have December, January, February, March. We have 4 months to do that, 120 days roughly. How many pages do we think our book's going to be? Well, we're going to have these topics and we're going to talk about this and probably this. So let's just say our book's going to be 120 pages. We have 120 days. We need a page done a day. It's really that simple, guys. And it puts it measurable. Okay, we can quantify it. And it's not like we're trying to write an encyclopedia. We're not. We're writing books to help patients, to help other therapists. And we just set that goal and then we work backwards. We're just going to reverse engineer all this stuff. It really is that simple. So we take our book and you and your accountability partner say, okay, I'm going to get my book done on, I'm going to get my book done before December. I'm Angela. I'm going to get this book done. We're going to be Merry Christmas. And Alan, we're going to get this book done in October or August of next year. And so we just start working backwards and we say, okay, what do we have to do to make that goal? Well, maybe we need to write 3 pages a month. Maybe we need to write 3 pages a day or 3 pages a week, but it's all quantifiable. And now you have a goal and now you can measure it, because if we can't measure anything, we don't know if we're successful or not. I mean, that's pretty simple. And we're all, most of us are there. All of us are therapists. So, we know if somebody's getting better by, was their shoulder flexion 90 degrees and now it's 140? Well, they got better. We can quantify that. So it's the same thing with the books. So I just want y'all to be realistic, hold each other accountable, and talk about those things that, that we need to talk about honestly with each other. So with that, I'm going to answer some questions. And then I want you guys to please ask questions about whatever you want. And it doesn't have to be anything module related, whatever you want to talk about the book. But I want to talk about something Shauna asked me earlier about creating Facebook groups for our niche or niche, wherever you are, however you want to say it. But yours is Senior Dog Cares, which is what you're going to do your book on. And so I would say absolutely, if you want to start finding out what those people really, I know what they want to, what they need to know, that what the dogs need because you've been doing this and you're an expert in it. But if you want to know how to word it and how to set the book up, well, then I would absolutely go ahead and start a Facebook group. And so actually, Will Boyd interviewed me about this last night in Greg Todd's mastermind. And we talked about setting up the Facebook group that I set up, Healthcare Self-Publishing Academy. And so I started that group in June, on June the 15th this year. And I did 30 straight days of content, 30 videos. And I think I ended up, Shauna, with like 25 videos. So I aimed for 30. I got 25. I missed a day or two in there. Hey, Jenny, how are you? And but that's kind of how I started this whole thing. And so with the Facebook group, I would just say, get in and start being consistent. And however that looks like, maybe you do a video weekly, like some people do videos every single day. And I used to do that when I owned my business, but to be honest, that's just not something I can keep up right now. I mean, it's not something I want to keep up, is doing a video every day, because I just don't. So once a week for me is fine, and it's consistent as long as you're consistent with it. And then you start to see what people are interested in and what people have questions about. And I think, of course, Francisco Maya has kind of, has that big group where he has all the people in. And so, I mean, I would just kind of model some of that after what he's done and just see, because he's obviously hugely successful right now. And then just go into that and say, okay, I'm going to go in this group. I'm going to serve people for, I'm going to start this group today. I'm going to serve people, weekly, daily. We're going to have conversations in the group. And then you start to poll people. And you don't have to do a poll. You can just ask a question. Hey, what do you think is the most important thing in senior dog care? And you're going to get, because people are more wild about their animals than they are about each other and themselves. So my father-in-law has a picture of his puppy on the screensaver of his phone. He don't have none of my kids or anybody else. It's like, that's what he's worried about is the dog. So, you're going to get a lot of responses, that, but that's what I would start doing is go ahead and start a group. And guys, don't be, some people don't want to start groups because they don't really feel like they have time. And I get that, but it's really the best resource for market research that you can have, because, people want to talk about their pets and they want to talk about their, if they're hurting, like if they have back pain, Alan, like they want to say, oh, my doctor said this is the worst back pain he's ever seen. How many patients have you seen that the doctor told him it was the worst they've ever seen? Every single one of them. So, but they all love talking about that. So yeah, I would definitely go ahead and start a Facebook group. And the thing is we talked about this with Will last night, is the first several videos, Doc told him he would be in a wheelchair. Oh my gosh, dude, don't even get me started. I'll tell you something later. But, one thing I want to tell you is, Shauna, is when you do start that group, you may blow it up and you may have, 1,000 people in it in a week or two. You may have people liking and comment on everything, but the first several videos I did, maybe the first 10 or 20, like I might have gotten 5 or 10 comments on a video and 3 likes. And so for me, like I'm full on addicted to Facebook and my smartphone, my iPhone. And so I was like, oh, I wish 10 more people would have liked it. I wish 20 people would have commented, but it's okay because, I think Kristen, I hope you don't mind me telling you this, Kristen, but I'm pretty sure Kristen's the one that messaged me and said, hey, I've been watching your videos. I haven't been commenting on them, but I like what you're doing and I want to get in your course. I believe that was Kristen. And so people are watching and they're consuming your content, even if they're not interacting with you all the time. And so I would definitely do that and start getting some research and then finding out what people want, because that's what I did. How to build this course was like, hey, what's your fear? I just published that book, The Fears for, becoming a self-published author. Now it's not going to be a New York Times bestseller and it's only 40 pages, but it's something I can give people and say, hey, this is why you can go ahead and write your book. Yeah, I thought it was, Chris. I knew it was you. So, but anyway, so that's definitely, I would start a Facebook group, any of y'all on anything. So what else? What other questions? Please, somebody ask, because I don't want to help put the kids to bed. Unmute yourself or put it in the chat.
Okay, so Jeremy, I've been trying to ask this question. So I have a Facebook group and there's not like too many people in it. It's a couple weeks old. There's probably like 70 people in it, and like half are my target people. And so like nobody really ever responds, or like one person does. But so the answers I have gotten over time. So my my book's on like mentoring for new grads and peds. So I feel like I know what they need to know, like what they don't know, but what they want is totally different. So that's where I'm struggling, is how to, in the end, it's probably the same information, but figuring out how to like put it into a way that's more attractive to them. So I already did the course and I kind of rushed it, but that's a whole nother story. So now I'm doing the book basically off of the course, but now I feel like there's all these other things that I want to put in it. I don't know. I'm having a hard time like limiting what I'm putting, and not just like, if I just pulled from the course, it'd be quick and easy. But now that I'm learning more, I'm like, oh, well, I really should have done it this way. I don't know if that makes sense or is even really a question, but that's just where I'm struggling. I just feel like.
No, it absolutely makes sense. So, first I'll tell you a little story, and then, so Kyle Rice, I'm sure, I know most of you probably know who that is, but does the PT Hustle. MPT helps people pass the the physical therapy license exam. And so he had a podcast, I think called the MPT Files or whatever it was, his first podcast. Nobody was really listening to it. Just kind of getting some downloads. He was doing it because he liked it. And people kept asking him, Angela, to answer MPTE questions. Like just answer exam questions. Person after person after person after person message him, please answer exam questions. And he was like, I don't want to do it. So he and I were accountability partners in Greg Todd's mastermind the first year he did it. And we were on the phone one day and he said, well, I finally did it. I said, what? He said, I started doing what all of my avatar and my entire target audience have been asking me to do for months. And I started answering exam questions. And he said, so that's what my podcast, he said, I killed my first podcast and I started a new one. And that's all I do on it is answer exam questions. He started getting 1,000 downloads a day, Angela. I mean, I would kill for 1,000 podcast downloads a day. I mean, and it was consistent. He's hit over 500,000 downloads for that podcast. And that's when his business blew up. So he made a ton of money. He made over $98,000 in 2 days this year because of his business. And it was because he started listening to people. So I would say if half of that group is not your target audience, and then so I would just take whatever they say with a grain of salt and be like, okay, cool, thanks for your input. But if the other half is your target audience and say, hey, I like this information, but this would help me a little bit more. Well, then I would start to maybe migrate towards some of that. And maybe not everything, but I mean, if you're going to be selling this book and you're going to be selling your course and teaching this group, then I know you know what they probably need, but you have to sell them what they want and give them what they need. So does that make sense?
Yeah. So do you have any ideas on how, I guess, to get those questions answered from a wider audience? So like in my group, it's a mentoring group. And so I have OTs who have experience and OTs who are new. Mm-hmm. So that's like the mix, and the new ones are my target. So, but other than just like, I don't know, I feel like everybody said, you shouldn't post X, Y, and Z in other people's groups. So I feel like I don't know where to get those answers because I've gotten like 3 answers from my group.
How long have you had that Facebook group?
Like 2 weeks, maybe 2.5.
Okay. So it's a baby Facebook group, you just started it.
Yeah.
I would say, I like what Alan just said. Tell them the what, show them the why, sell them the how. I would say just to hang in there because it's just started. And so one thing that I've had to learn the hard way in the last 2 weeks and selling and trying to promote this course is I care more about this course than anybody because it's mine. And I'm where all the credit card deposits came to me. So I care more about this course than anybody. And so that was hard to realize is like, okay, for me to get other people excited, I have to be consistent. I have to talk about them, address their issues, and I had to do it consistently, so I started that group in June and I went to September before I sold anything. And I had over 40 videos in the group already. So literally you can go to the group and publish your book, but you just won't get the extra coaching and all the other stuff. So I would just say to be patient with that because it's going to get more consistent as people see your personality and see that you're passionate about helping them and go from there. And I would probably start to, how often are you going in the group and teaching or talking or what are you doing? Are you just posting? Are you doing live videos? What's going on in there?
No, so I'm doing a mix. So I'm trying to do posts that to get people to engage and comment on their own. So, like, what was the biggest challenge your first year practicing as an OT or, stuff like that. And then I'm doing like specific things like, what would, give me a problem you're having with a kiddo and we'll do a live video on it. So I've done probably like one truly like teaching live, and then I've shared like 3 documents
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff, like education stuff to help people, and then I've done like 3 other just like get to know you kind of lives, and then the rest have been like posts.
Okay. So, I mean, it sounds like you're doing good. I would do more lives, and I would maybe get a couple of people that are well known to come in. Maybe, maybe not like superstar OTs. I don't know. Just get some people that have, already done some things, or, people know in the OT world, or just another OT colleague, and have them come in, maybe interview a couple of people on, this is, what you're teaching, OT mentorship. Find some people that are well-known mentors, or high up in companies or organizations, and just say, hey, how do you mentor people? How have you seen mentoring help younger professionals? It just start just doing some of that stuff. And it sounds like you're already adding a lot of value. I think it's just going to take a little time, and just be, sounds like you're being consistent, but just maybe stick with it a little bit longer, and wait. I think it's going to come. So I talked about this last night. So I asked at least 5 different ways why people weren't being self-published authors. Like I said, what are you afraid of? What's your biggest fear in writing? Why don't you want to become an author? Why haven't you written a book? And I answered it 5 or 6 different ways, and I finally got like 28 answers. I did that over a couple of months.
Yeah, because I've noticed like I'm trying to pay attention to like some other groups that are much bigger that I'm part of, and they have like over 1,000 people, and I feel like unless it's like a super, super hot topic,
right,
they don't get a ton of responses or a ton of posts or from people every day either, and they have like 1,000 people. So that, it helped me get my expectation, but I'm just having a hard time then figuring out like where do I get that information that I need for the book, or do I just go ahead with what I'm thinking?
You can do that, but I would go into that alternate career group that I'm a moderator of, and I would ask whatever question you want to ask, and just because there's 14 or 15,000 people in there.
Yeah, there's a ton of people.
Now with that, there's a buttload of negative people in there. Matter of fact, I kicked somebody out of the group last week for like heckling me about my course. And I still I kept asking what they were trying to say. And finally Mike was like, I just kick them out. We do it all the time. So, and then I like deleted a comment today that somebody was talking about end of life doulas, and they were being disrespectful for, people in life. So, there's going to be there's a lot of negativity in that group, but it's still a good group to ask questions. And so I would do that.
And then I have one more quick question. So when you started your Facebook group, like I haven't even said one thing about, I have a course, I'm doing a book, I sell anything. Like I'm just like, I'm not even doing that.
Sure.
So do you think like that's the right thing? And then like if it comes up organically, like in a couple months or something?
No, it doesn't have to come up organically. It's your group. So this is what I'm just going to tell you what I did, because that concerned me as well in my group. Okay. I have never liked selling anything. I worked as a car salesman for a week or 2 weeks one time because I just needed a job, and it was absolutely the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And I hated it because all they talked about was money, and I just hated it. But so when I got ready, so I'm an affiliate for Kindlepreneur, Otter app, and something else, Grammarly, I think. So Kindlepreneur, I get $50 per sale, which is really good because it's a $95 product that I can sell. And I haven't said that in the group yet, but when I went to sell this course, it was very unnatural for me to ask for money, even though the first one was $47. It was very unnatural for me to do that, and it felt very awkward. But the point is if you continue to serve in this group, and you continue to bring on other OTs that want to talk about things, and you continue to post, documents and videos on teaching, and you make it a place for community, well, when you get ready to sell, it'll be fine because you've been giving so much.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. And then I even today posted like for everybody to share their own, are you developing a product? Do you have a resource, whatever? And I'm not putting mine on there, but I thought like doing that a couple times and giving everybody an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And then I asked, like today I asked something, and I think you commented, Angela, and a couple other people, like, what are you doing today to make your book a reality, or whatever I put. And so those are things like I've seen Josh Payne post that in his group. I've seen Mike Chua, I just look and see what other people are doing. And if it's working, then I do it. We're all copying each other anyway. So it's okay. And so something else that I'll tell you guys, like when I first started the group, I was very self-conscious about what got posted in there. And I still watch my group. And if somebody posts something that's not good, which I haven't had to delete anything yet, then I'll take it out. There's been a couple of borderline things, but I would say if they're having the conversation on your page, then it's fine. If whoever talks, I want them to talk in the Healthcare Self-Publishing Academy group, because if there's conversations going on, then they're having it in my group, and that's cool to me. So I think you're cool. Just be patient. It takes a lot of time, because nobody cares about your group as much as you do. Nobody cares about my group as much as I do. That's gosh, I hate saying that. I don't like, but it's the truth. So just be consistent in there. It's going to happen. You have a good heart. People can see that. So, I would do that. What's up, Matt? Okay. So let's talk about this. Shauna said that's her fear, putting group there and not getting what I hope for. Guys, there's going to be a lot of that. You're going to want the exact information that you want every time you ask a question, but you're not going to get it. And it sucks. And sometimes I have deleted posts and be like, that's not what I wanted. Let's kick this one off. So just know that's going to happen. But the more you stick with it and the more people see, hey, she's showing up every night, or she's showing up when she says she is, it's going to be fine. And you're going to get the stuff you want. Andrea said, make friends with other group moderators and see if they'll let you poll and ask questions. It's like in the alternate career group, in my group, in healthcare digital marketing, you can ask just about anything as long as you're not promoting, as long as you don't go in there and be like, hey, I'm the best. You're not going to go in healthcare digital marketing, be like, hey, I'm selling how to make Facebook ads. Would you like to join my group over here? I mean, it's just, other than that, it's a community and people are there to chat and talk. Let's see. Andrea asked a question. Let me back it up and see. How's the accountability partner stuff working? Okay. So Andrea, the accountability partner, I have everybody's information, what's your book title in 3 words or less, or topic. And so we're going to go through and we'll try to match people up that way. If there's somebody in the group you've already interacted with, or they look nice on screen or whatever it is, and you want to partner with them, that's cool. So Angela, let's see. Basically, I was very protective because I before research, which was so shady. Yeah. So I would not post questions in the Doctor of Physical Therapy group, because Richard Severin will ban you, like he has done me twice, and send you an ugly Facebook message for trying to steal information. So I wasn't doing that. Don't do that. It's not cool. And so, but most definitely the alternate career group is good to ask questions in, and healthcare digital marketing is good for questions. And I know there's some OT groups, because I've gotten in. I got into all kinds of groups for a little while because I was trying to research. But yeah, 2 weeks, 30, 50s is good. Take time. Yeah, I mean, exactly what Jenny said. Just continue to give value and content, and it's going to be fine. I mean, so don't do like I did when I started my group. I was like, I'm going to have 1,000 people by December. Well, I think we have 420 right now. Maybe 1 to 3 people are getting in a week, but it's cool because you focus on the people that you have. And if you, Angela, and any of you guys, if you serve the 5 or 10 or 50 people in your group, they're going to start to invite other people, because they know we all know the therapists that need what we're talking about. We could all invite 20 people to any group we're in that we're finding value in as therapists, because that's all we know is other stinking therapists that are tired and, burn out and got back pain and thumb issues because they're doing joint mobs. And so, we could do that. So yeah, I would just keep doing that and go from there. So yeah. What other questions, guys? Hit me with something. I know somebody else has got a question. All by myself. Y'all don't want to hear me sing. All right. So, what else? Celeste, what question you got? Come on, hit me with something.
Well, okay, so I sent you my outline.
Yes.
and then I don't know. Then I kind of got stuck, busy with other things. I guess I just wanted to get a little input from, you seem to think that was a good place to start.
Yeah.
It seems to kind of hit most of the things that have been going through my head over the last few years when I've said I need to tell this, need to write this book. So yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. I don't have a Facebook group yet. I have a one for my business,
right,
which I want to do some work on and stuff. So I've got all kinds of different things that I need to do.
right.
But I think for me with this course, the main thing is getting going on this.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of my next steps for that. So
what do you feel like is the most important thing to do next for your book?
For me, it feels that I just need to start getting some stuff written down.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think the next step in writing my book is just actually starting to write it from the outline,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Is what I think, yeah. But
yeah, you're right. So, guys, we have all these I have all these books in my mind. I have all these horrible, bad jokes that I've been telling for 11 years as a PT to patients. And, I'm not going to write a book on jokes, but if we don't start to write something down and make something, tangible, then it's not going to get done. And so I would definitely recommend, getting started on that. Start tonight, Celeste, write a few things down. You don't have to sit for an hour or 2 hours. I know you got all kinds of stuff going on, and you had an ER trip today, so I'm sure your nerves are frazzled. But write some stuff down. Talk about one of the things you said, and is it okay if I share a couple of things that you said?
Yeah, go for it.
One of the things you said is finding my voice. Well, you're never going to find that if you don't start to write things down or speak to people, and so that's scary.
Well, I think, in my head, I know what I have to offer is important. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's an audience out there that I can really help, better than most people because I've been there. Mm-hmm. But just when you're still kind of in some of it, it's really hard to be like, yeah, but I can still help somebody else.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at, and I go to write the book going, man, I don't really have all the answers. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with getting going on it.
Yeah. So does anybody know what an expert is? Celeste, do you know what an expert is?
No.
Okay, listen, I'm going to tell you. If anybody wants to comment, I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. So an expert is somebody that knows about 10 minutes more ahead of time what the other person knows, or knows 3 steps ahead of the other person. So you don't have to have all the answers to help people. And that's what I've had this idea to do this course for 2.5 years, but I didn't do it. It took me, we could have a bunch of people with published books already if I would have just started when I wanted to, but I felt like you. I was like, well, I don't have all the answers. I learned something this week. I had to send a book. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I had to send a book. I was trying to do a book. My friend thinks he's a Viking, and he writes Viking poetry. And every time I say that, he says, I am a Viking. And his wife designed all these images for his book to go along with his poetry, and I could not get it to upload right on Amazon. I tried 12 times, and I did all the things that I teach you guys. Nothing freaking worked. I sent it to my friend Mark, and he had it back to me in an hour. I uploaded it, and it was perfect. And I was like, what did you do? He said, I put page breaks in it. I was like, I freaking tried that. I'm telling you. So none of us are perfect. We don't know everything. So just find your voice, start writing this week, start writing tonight, and do something. You wrote in here, work in progress, getting stronger every day, steps to take. All of us are getting stronger every day. all of us are a work in progress. So just get started. I'm just gonna tell you, get off your butt and get started.
Yep.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So
yep.
You just got to write something down.
Kind of get some confidence and get started. Yeah, that's really what it is. Yeah.
I mean, really, listen. I mean, does everybody here like shake your head yes, clap, raise your hand? Do y'all believe that Celeste can write this book? I mean, anybody like, yeah, you can do it. Okay, Angela, Alan, yeah. I mean, everybody's like, yeah, we believe in you. So, I mean, that's what this group is here for. Like, Andrea, she raised her hand. Kristen said, yeah. So, like, do it because people need your story.
Yeah.
So, listen, we talk. So, you guys, I told y'all, I think this last week, like, I teach a Sunday school class. We go to a Baptist church here. I'm a Christian. I teach a class about, Andrea gave you digital hand clapping and raising. So I teach this class, and I used to think, so I was raised in the church.
Thanks, Andrea.
And I used to think that everybody that taught or preached in a church had everything together until I started teaching. And I am a mess, like a literal mess. And so I told them, like, my wife and I, we just got discharge papers for our bankruptcy on our business today. Like, we just found out we're done with that. We've been sued twice in the last 6 months by the guy who we bought our business from, who was a pastor himself and cheated us, like totally screwed us over. Like, that stuff sucks. And I felt like the biggest failure after all that happened. And I hid, like, guys, you can go look, I hid my Servant PT Facebook page because I kept getting all these people asking me to come see me for appointments. It's still there, but like, you can see where I did like almost 70 straight days of live videos and then just stopped because I felt like such a loser and a failure and a fraud because I'd been talking about all these, this is why you need to have your own business. This is how you can treat patients great, blah, blah, blah. And it folded. But, I had people like my friends Alex and Will and Mike Chu and some of these guys like telling me, hey, start doing this. So that's what I'm doing for you, Celeste. We're all shaking our head. We're all in agreement that you have something.
I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, do it. Just do it. Cool. Awesome. All right. What else? Jenny says, without a doubt, Celeste, let's do this. What? Oh, man. Anybody? Who's next? Somebody unmute themselves and ask a question. If you got one. Go ahead, Jenny.
I just want to ask Jeremy regarding the Facebook group that you just talked about. Let's say I have a Facebook group, but it's a combination of, it's a public, and then it's a combination of clinicians, seasoned therapists, and everybody, and also mix of the people I wanted to be more influenced and to serve. But can I continue doing it? It's a balance and fall support group and aging adults. And then I keep doing and presenting some information on about everything like aging and fall prevention. It's open for everybody. I welcome everybody, the clinicians, and I highlights all our team, anything about it, just for everybody to know different states. So, but I'm just building a group for all the therapists so that in the future, but I'm just putting the niche of geriatrics there, but I'm opening and welcoming everybody so that more people will be more engaged and seeing all the specialists on the group. Is that okay to continue that way?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like that anything you read in marketing or talk to whatever, they always talk about niching down and, kind of finding a sub-market in a market. And we definitely, I believe in that. But if you're just wanting to reach other therapists, and so every physical therapist and patient can benefit from balance education. At some point we're all going to lose, we're all going to be at a state where balance is very important to us. So yeah, I absolutely think that's fine if that's what you want to build. So you just have to say, what is your, we need to know what your end goal is for your Facebook group. Who do you want to serve? Are they coming in that group? And are you able to get information from those people that's going to help you serve them? So this is another thing. Like, I don't want you to think about, you know, Andrea's talked about somebody going in and doing like all this research behind the backs of these, you know, moderators and group. And we've all seen that. But when you're trying to learn something on your avatar, your audience, you're not learning that so you can manipulate them. You're learning it so you can serve them at a higher level. We all have to make a living and make money. You know, the last I checked, I can't pay my house note with grapes. It has to be, you know, currency. So we have to get paid for what we're doing. But the better you get at solving their problems, the better you get at being able to make money and serve them at a higher level. So yeah, I mean, if that's what you just have to say, what's your end goal? Do you want to serve this whole population? Do you want to, you know, do you want to highlight other people? Do you, and yeah, so I think it's fine how you want to do it. So just it's your group. As long as it's serving the purpose that you need it to, then so you're good. Keep going.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, no problem. Balance. I mean, that's group. Everybody definitely, if you have some friends you can invite to Angela's group, Jeannie's group, we'll put a post in the group later, and we'll kind of go. Everybody can go follow each other and ask and support and all that cool stuff. So yeah. Anybody else have a question? I see somebody, like, y'all are fidgeting like somebody wants to talk. Cool. All right. So if nobody's going to ask a question, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to post in the group tonight about accountability partners. And if y'all want to pick, you can. If not, I'll assign whoever doesn't pick. You can just comment on the post with your partner if you have somebody. If not, then I will, like I said, I'll kind of message you and we can see what you want to do. And then also we'll do a separate post for everybody's Facebook groups that has some business pages, whatever you want to do. And guys, this is a group to support each other, just like we kind of all just, you know, did for Celeste and raised her hand and clapped and told her she can do it. She's awesome. Like, I want to do that for each and every one of you. And I want us to do that for each other. So by all means, reach out to me during the week and let me know what I can do for you guys. And hopefully we can do that for each other. But I want to see y'all's books published. Angela, I want to see yours done on December 31st. You shouldn't have said that. I'm going to get you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so excited. I love that. Like, listen, guys, that's the last thing I'm going to talk about. Then we're going to be done. So when I launched this course, I initially said I wanted to get 10 people. But then after I got 5 people, I was like, oh, that was too small of a goal. Let's try for 20. I didn't get 20. I got 17. But if you don't set big goals, well, I would rather set a huge goal and fall short than set a small, crappy goal and reach it. Like, you know, I would rather say I want to make, you know, $500,000 next year and only make 200 instead of saying I'd like to make 50. Now I don't have the goal to make 500,000 next year, but I'm just saying, like, make big goals. So Angela, if you say you want your book done by December, maybe you don't get it done, but maybe you get it done by January the 15th. But you wouldn't have got it done by then if you just said, oh, I don't know, next year, 2020, 2021, you know? So guys, I think you're not going to hear me say the universe a whole lot, because that's not something I say, but I think you get rewarded for taking big chances. Sometimes you fall flat on your face, but then you take another big chance and take another big chance. And I'm kind of one of those guys that I'm just going to swing at every pitch you throw me. Eventually I'm going to hit something and it's going to work. So set big goals, and you know, we can fail big instead of failing small. So she meant 2020. Alan, we need to talk, man. I think your sense of humor and mine is kind of similar. So with that said, guys, I had a patient last week with rotator cuff possible tear, and the doctor told her not to do a shoulder pulley because she might pull her arm out of socket, and also not to push up on anything because it may tear it even further. So I will leave you with that comment and the ludicrousy of it, and hope you all have an amazing night. Please, please, please reach out to me. You have my phone number. Text me this week if y'all need something, and I'll be adding a module for later on in the weekend, early next week, because I know most of us haven't gotten through 2 and 3. So please, guys, let me know what you need, and I'm here for you. So yeah, guys, y'all are all welcome, and I will see y'all next Wednesday. So we're going to do next Wednesday. I know it's Thanksgiving week, so if you can't be here, I totally understand it. We'll record it. I got this one recorded thanks to Shauna. And guys, I love you. I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and I'll see y'all